So today, guys, we're gonna put to the test the Kh-59 ME. Of course, we will probably see another variant of this missile, but let's really test this thing to see what it's capable of. It's a very different concept of a missile compared to the Kh-38, the other very advanced air-to-ground missile that the Russians have, of course. But yeah, this one is a pretty interesting and very unique design. So first of all, how does it work? Well, guys, it uses INS, so an inertial navigation system, together with a GPS guidance and together with TV guidance at the later stages of the flight. Okay, you can clearly see the design, like the camera on the nose there, right? And then the propulsion, it is a rocket engine at the first stage. It is a two-stage rocket, like missile. And then after that, it basically will allow this back part to just fall back, and then it will turn on its turbofan engine, as you can see on the like bottom part of the missile there. Okay, and these things, because they use a proper jet engine, they are amazing in long range. This is a cruise missile, basically. Okay, guys, this is like properly one of the first like properly long range cruise missiles. What is the drawback of this thing? Well, it is very slow, so it might be very easy to intercept it with the modern AAs, right? But at the same time, it does have a very large warhead. I'm pretty sure it's not fully ready yet, because I'm pretty sure it will have more power than the 190 kilograms that he already has, but it's still pretty good. Okay, so let's test it out. Since it's a TV and a GPS guidance guided weapon, you can do two things. You can use with guidance with TV, but you can also use with the camera over here, so the GPS, right? So we're gonna try to pinpoint a location, and we're gonna try to hit a target that it's right there. Or I can try to hit the further away target. Okay, so we're gonna try to hit this. I don't know if I'm being precise or not with this, but yeah. And basically, if I shoot now, it will go to that target, right? So let's try if I can do this. Let's see. Okay, it's not acquiring. Let's see if it works. Maybe it's not working. There you go. Too high speed. The max speed of this thing is 1.5 Mach. Okay, so we are at 1.7, 1.6. And then missile off. And there we go. Did you see that the first, burn happened? So, and then the back part of the missile just falls back, as you see. And then the canards open up. Okay, so basically they are folded, and now it is working with a turbofan engine. And because of that, it has an extremely long range on the missile. Okay, it will have 120 kilometers of range, bigger than probably any map in the game, I think. So it's pretty insane, right, guys? I couldn't test in a proper custom battle, but it doesn't matter, right? And what it does, look at this. It just flies, tries to fly kind of low to the ground, which will make this thing pretty hard to intercept sometimes, okay? Because most missiles, and you will see this happening in more modern missiles, okay, guys? These missiles, they will basically the older missiles will still try to fly as high as they can to actually attack from above, right? And a missile such as this is a cruise missile. So what it does is actually tries to low fly. Like it tries to just fly very low to the ground so that it can actually avoid most AA systems. It is still flying very high. Don't get me wrong. This is not like a sea skimming missile. Actually, I think it might do that in real life, but in the other variant, maybe not in this one. In the radar-guided one, maybe. And some of these missiles, guys, they are very advanced. I don't know if this one had it, but the radar ones, sometimes when they are used with ships, they will combine with each other all the missiles you fire, like, for example, 6 missiles. One of them will fly higher to try to locate the target with the radar and pass the information to the other missiles that are firing very, very low to the ground. So these things are very, very smart. As you can see, very, very, very slow. Okay? And I kind of have a feeling that it will miss. Even though I aimed properly. Maybe it's bugged a bit, but... because I aimed on that one, right? It doesn't feel like it's going there. So let's see what it's actually doing here. And you see that it's wobbling around. Maybe it is not ready yet, okay? That probably is the case. So, yeah, it is just flying around. We're gonna try to see what happens here. And it's changing the altitude, as you can see, because of the ground, right? If it detects, like, there is a little bit more, like, an altitude that needs to be done to maintain the same altitude that it was actually doing before, it will do that. So it's a pretty smart weapon compared to what we have in the game yet. Yes, it is slower, and I still believe for a tank kill, the Kh-58 will be a little bit more effective. But this thing is pretty smart. Not as smart because for some reason it's not going for the target that I want it to go, right? But you get the point. Yeah, it's supposed to be going for that base over there. Why is it going here? Let's see. Well, I'm gonna wait and see to see what it actually does. It might not be ready. That's why you cannot do the long range shots, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully they add the radar one as well. I know it's kind of a gimmick, but, you know, because it's an anti-ship missile and whatever, right? About anti-ship missiles, but still, I mean, I would love to see it. Very cool looking missile, isn't it? Very cool. So, it is passing over the target already, see? For some reason, it didn't go to the target that I was pointing at, and it's just continuing. Let's see what it actually does. It's just maintaining flight, and he doesn't care, man. Just, he's gonna keep going. We're gonna wait to see what he does. But yeah, it's a little bit bugged, I would say, the navigation system of this thing. Like I said, this is a GPS-guided weapon, so you should be able to do what the Kh-38 does, which is just point to a point in the map and be able to fire, and it will go to the target. But it's not doing that exactly. It turned to the left for some reason. Actually, it's just going where I am going, right? So, that is weird. But you can see that it has an immense amount of range. I mean, it's just flying, man. Look at that. It just doesn't care. It's just... How is this not a cruise missile, man? If you don't know the definition of a cruise missile, the cruise missile is a missile that can produce its own lift. Okay, so I don't think... I mean, I don't know if this thing can produce lift with its wings, but it maintains kind of a positive AOA, right? And with that, it produces its own lift, and it has its own turbofan engine, right? So it's pretty incredible, this thing, man. It's crazy. I mean, it goes forever. Look at this. I was at like 70 kilometers from the target. And it passed that, and it's still going. Return to the battlefield. Oh. It got returned to the battlefield. So the maps are too small for the range of the missile, basically, which is pretty insane. It really is pretty insane. So let's see what this thing can do in the closer ranges as an anti-tank missile, right? So let's try to approach the AAs that we have there. And we're going to try to kill them looking at them. This thing has an immense amount of zoom, as you see. And it doesn't have any type of, you know, it's not IR guided. It's not TV guided, okay? Let's see, where are these AAs? There you go. I clicked the wrong button. And by the way, apparently this missile will come to other nations, okay? It is just that for now, it is not there. So let's see. I don't know what is the range of this camera, honestly. I couldn't find it. It is not in any of the files. You can clearly see the target there. See? If it was you could see the target, right? And then you would point and fire, And we're gonna try to find the other one. There. So I locked onto the ground, okay? I didn't lock on the vehicle itself. But again, guys, look at this. So I was at, I don't know, like 15 kilometers maybe or something like that from the targets. And we're gonna see if this thing actually hits. It's not going for where I aimed. Oh, it's turning. Maybe. Yeah, for some reason, this is the thing that didn't happen before. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's a little bit bugged. You can see the other one. They're going each to their targets. And we are severely outranging all the AA systems here, right? Of course, if it was a bug or something, it is a bit different, but you get the point. Let's see if he goes down. He needs to dive down. Yeah, there we go. We killed one. Let's see the other one. He got the lock. Pretty sure he got the lock. And there you go. So this is how it will work. Okay. But of course, let's try it out with a moving target over here. Because those were targets that were not moving. And because of that, it is very easy to get a lock on. These ones, I don't know. Let's see. Here on. Yeah, see? It doesn't lock to the target itself, right? Let me see what is the distance that I can get a proper lock. No? So, yeah, guys, you need to be very close to get the proper lock. Let's see, 10 kilometers. Not even then? Does it not get a lock? Maybe it's not working properly. It's not getting a lock on a moving target. And if I do this, let's see. Now it worked. It's a problem with the first person, I think. Let's see at like 10 kilometers if I can get that kill. So see, you can use it from up close, right? And it will be working. Let's see at like 15 kilometers, 10 kilometers to see if I can get a lock with the third person. It's because of the third person problem that the first person that it's not just... for some reason, it's not getting the lock, right? Let's see it. So yeah, it's not... I mean, at this distance, you cannot even see the target, right? So this thing has a very short range, man. Yeah, like 6 kilometers or something for a tank, which is pretty problematic. So it might be a good missile, but it might be one of those missiles that it'll just... sometimes, you're not going to be able to hit a target because he's moving, right? So as you can see from up close, it's very easy when you get the straight on lock. But yeah, we're going to try one last thing before we wrap up the video. We're going to try to use the Kh-59 as a normal standoff weapon and see if it actually gets a lock. Okay, so we're going to zoom in like a lot. And we're going to fire onto a target, choosing where the target is over here. So we're not going to be precise, right? As precise as you need, as you see. But let's see, just with clicking and stuff, if you can get a kill with the Kh-59, if the actual seeker head can be wide enough to actually find a target on its own. So let's see if it can actually do that. I don't think you can, but let's try. 20 kilometers is pretty great. Let's wait for the reload over there, and we're gonna fire. So let's turn. See, okay. And then... no, it's locking that. So I fired, hopefully, in the right place. I think I did, right? A little bit to the left, but I think, yeah, it's steering to the right. And this is the last test. So it was around 15 to 20 kilometer shot on a target that wasn't locked. It was just a general direction of where targets are. Let's see if the Seeker has a wide enough FOV to actually properly get a lock on. Which would be perfect, because then you don't need to be as precise and the Seeker will do its job. It's pretty fast if you ask me. I mean, it's way slower than a Kh-38, but still. Let's see. No. So, yeah, that is going to be the problem. It needs a wider FOV. Maybe it's still going to be fixed, but it needs a wider FOV to be able to lock, as you see. So I wasn't really precise there, and it couldn't get a lock. So, I don't know. I have a feeling that this missile will be pretty interesting for air battles to just destroy bases, maybe, but from long ranges. But in ground battles, the Kh-38 is still much better, I think. Although, still, it can be done. It is going to be very dangerous to get a kill on this, with this. Like, it's going to be hard to get a kill with this thing when the target is moving, okay? So these are my conclusions with the Kh-59. Amazing missile, but it has its drawbacks. So let's see if they fix it more, or they change some stuff in the upcoming days on the week. But yeah, guys, basically this is it. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye, guys. See ya.